everyone, my name is Kirsten, and today we're here to talk about my acne made me fat. It did not make me skinny, that's for sure. But I have some talking points that I want to hit about the medication that I ended up taking to get my acne taken care of, or in remission at this point, I guess. And then I also want to talk about what I kind of struggled with and how I think I could have done some things differently. So I did not have acne at all in high school. In fact, it was not even like a thought. Every once in a while I would get a cyst like on my nose or my cheek or like my chin or something like that, because that's the kind of acne that I have. I have cystic acne, and it was almost non-existent. I barely had to wear makeup. I didn't ever cake it on. I was not that kind of person. So I was very lucky until I turned about 19. My body went through some changes. I had some medical issues come up, and then I ended up gaining about 20 pounds. And my acne exploded over a period of a couple of months, to where I would have maybe 1 or 2 cysts a year. I had now 5 to 8 cysts on my body at all times, as a minimum. What I'm dealing with currently is none. I have a few that are on my body still that are in what they call like dead state, like they're not growing or anything like that. They're just on my body waiting for, you know, something to occur with them. I don't know, I might have to get them removed. I don't know at this point, because it can take quite some time for them to go away if they're, you know, in a very weird spot, or the spot that doesn't get a lot of friction on it. So I struggled for about a year and a half before I decided to go to the dermatologist. It was one of those things where I didn't really realize how bad it had gotten until I realized I wasn't going outside. I wasn't willing to take pictures with anyone. I didn't want to do anything ever. It was just something that in my head I was like, I don't need to go out. I don't want to go out. I don't like the way that I look. It's not something that I want to do. So somehow I managed to get a boyfriend in that time. He's a family friend, so it ended up working out pretty well. But he was one of the ones that was like, babe, like, you're obviously not happy with yourself. Like, go ahead and let's just go to the dermatologist. And his parents were really supportive of it as well as mine. So it was just like everyone going, look, you're really great. You're doing wonderful, but this is something that you can't control, so there's no point in you trying to cover up something or just ignore something that's there. So I went to the dermatologist, and for my state that I was in at that time, which was Kansas, it's required that you go on antibiotics first, and then for the insurance, they make you do like a set amount of antibiotics. So like I had to do, I think, 2 different kinds of antibiotics within a 6-month span to see if a less intense treatment would work on my type of acne, which it did not, by the way. So not only did I take oral antibiotics, but I also had topical, like peroxide-y kind of. I know that it was a topical cream, and it ended up kind of splitting my face open about 1 centimeter or 2 over here on the side of my face. One day my skin had just gotten to a point where it was just so weathered that it just split, so I stopped doing that. And then I moved in the middle of my antibiotic treatment. I was about 5 or 6 months in, so it was like right at the end of the antibiotic treatment when I moved. So my insurance that I currently had dropped off. So when I moved, I got a job, and I had insurance, but it was like taking most of my paycheck. So my parents were like, hey, you know, open enrollment's coming up. We'll be more than happy to add you onto the plan. They already had a family plan. I'm still young enough to be on their plan, and it was just something that financially was smart for me, and it was just a wonderful gift for them to give me. So I went to a dermatologist about a year after moving, about a year after moving down here, because my skin had gotten into a point again where it was unmanageable. I remember my boyfriend walked in on me one day going, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "I'm just trying to take my makeup off." Because he had taken the dogs outside to go to the bathroom, and I went into the bathroom with one of those Neutrogena little makeup remover wipes, the blue standard package across the US for all the girls and boys who wear makeup, you know, it's the standard. And I like just like very gently wiped my face because obviously I'm not gonna fucking scrub when I have a bunch of bubbles on my face that are very painful. So my skin just broke open, and he found me bleeding and crying in the bathroom when he returned. So it was just one of those things where I needed to I needed to take a stand and like go to the dermatologist. I went to a nice little Asian guy he was very old, to be truthful with you, but he was immediate. "We're getting you on Accutane. We need you to take a pregnancy test. Go ahead and go on a month of antibiotics and then take another pregnancy test just to ensure that you're not pregnant, and then we will go ahead and get you onto the Accutane, because you have to go through like a program and you have to do all of this stuff. It's very necessary because if you are on this drug and you end up getting pregnant, there is absolutely almost 100% chance that something will go wrong in the pregnancy, whether that's miscarrying or birth defects. In fact, on every single packaging that I got, you have to like tear it open, and it has a panel that flips out, and it shows like babies with misshapen heads, cleft palates, clubbed hands and feet. I mean, this medication literally turns your body into a cesspool for bad things to happen. Once I got on the Accutane, I noticed immediately a change. Within 2 weeks, I was almost like completely dried out. It was more of a, oh, I'm starting to notice that I don't have to wash my hair every other day. I'm starting to notice that my skin is not like sloughing oil out like a fucking factory anymore. So about a month and a half in, I started flaking and my skin started to kind of peel out, and I wasn't washing my hair for like 6 or 7 days. It was wonderful for all the girls out there who have to wash their hair all the time, like I do, the Latinas and things like that who have to keep their hair clean, otherwise you're gonna get scabs and shit on it. I'm right there with you, bro. Get it. But what I struggle with while I was on the Accutane was my self-image, because up until this point, I was eating shitty because I felt bad about myself, and I felt bad about myself because I was eating shitty. So the shittier that I ate, the worse that I felt. The worse that I felt, the more I would supplement with food. So the shittier food that I would eat, the shittier my skin got. And it was just like the most vicious circle that it could ever be. So on the Accutane, it got to a point where I was like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I could come out of this a little bit, and I tried to be a little bit more upbeat about it, but then my skin was so sensitive. I couldn't go outside without sunscreen on. I could barely put makeup on. I was moisturizing my face 2 to 3 times a day, and that wasn't including the nighttime not exfoliation, but the nighttime washing and care prep that you have to do, because your skin is so fragile without the oils that your body naturally produces. So it ended up kind of taking me down a road that I didn't want to go. From the start of my acne journey when I was 19 or 20, I ended up gaining, on top of the 20 pounds that I had already gained, about another 40 pounds, possibly more. I'm truthfully terrified to get on a scale right now. I currently, as you all know, I just moved to a new place, so I don't know anyone in this city. I don't know anything about it. So I'm kind of still unpacking my house and getting everything ready to go for my life. So that's kind of my number one priority right now, besides what I'm doing here. But I gained a lot of weight, and it's because I didn't take the positive road. I took the negative road. Because I had such bad body image of myself, my self-confidence went way down. But then instead of my body image being ruined, my self-worth went out the window. I literally started my anxiety reached a point where I was no longer comfortable in my own skin. I mean, I didn't want to wear clothes. I didn't want to be naked. I didn't want to have anything touching me ever. It definitely affected not only my sex life, it affected my, personal life, my personal relationship with my boyfriend. I didn't want to play with my dogs as much. I didn't want to do anything. You know, my life is so full. I have family in Kansas, I have family in New York, I have family in Georgia, I have family fucking everywhere. And I didn't want any of them to see me the way that I was. I didn't want anybody to know that I failed. And it was my fault. And I think that is the biggest issue that we have in society. That's the biggest fault that we have, is there is always someone else to blame. I mean, look in the past couple of weeks, the terrible things that have happened, yet we're blaming religions, we're blaming color of people's skin, we're blaming just the most stupid things, and we can't even come to terms with the fact that people are fucked up, and sometimes people make bad mistakes and bad decisions, and those things need to be fixed. And so that's what I'm doing. I want to fix me. My biggest accomplishment in my life is to be happy. I've done a lot of things in my life. I have a lot of good in my life. I have a huge condo. I have 2 beautiful dogs. I have a beautiful family, more than any words can explain. I love my boyfriend so much. So why am I here? Why am I in a negative spot? Why am I not healthy? Why am I unhealthy in my lifestyle? So here's where I go to stop being that person. Here's where I go to be on a better plane of existence. And I'm not talking that existential bullshit, whatever. Find a path that makes you happy in life. For me, my dogs that I don't know if you can see laying down here around me, these little bastards make my life so just full and happy, and I want to be healthy with them. I want to be able to go on runs with them. I want to be able to walk for an hour with them like my boyfriend does. I want to be able to not have immediate sweats when I walk outside. I want to be able to wear clothes that I don't feel like I shoved myself into. So this is me saying, your acne doesn't define you, and neither does your body weight. But the worth of living that you have is very important. I'm here to document things that I do in my life, the better changes that I make, the good that I put out for myself, and you're invited to come along. I want you to see the good that can come out of just a little fucking bit of positivity, because that's what I'm really hoping for. I just want to be happy with myself, and yeah, my acne fucked me up, and it pushed me to a place I didn't want to go, but I ended up there anyway, and there's no one to blame but me, and that's okay. I accept my blame. But now it's my job to get back to a place where I'm not in a shitty situation. I'll be alive for another, 50, 60 years. I want to be old and wrinkly and not obese. I have a lot planned for the future of this channel. And they're not all going to be just me sitting here rambling on about how much I fucked up. But, hopefully in the next, right now I'm making chili. If it turns out great, maybe we can make some healthy chili together. I'm in the process of perfecting my smoothie recipes because they're fucking wonderful and I love them, and they're better than eating Pop-Tarts this morning. I'm gonna take you guys on a journey of fucking me, alright? So we're gonna find me. So if you guys have any questions, or just need to talk to someone, or if you find yourself in a similar situation that I found myself in, ask me questions. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because my biggest mistake, besides letting all of this shit slide past me and down my throat, was not telling someone what I was going through. I got to a very negative place where I didn't talk to anyone about it. I just let it get worse and worse and worse. And then I blamed those people because they didn't see it happening. But I didn't tell them about it. So this video is for all of you that struggle with body positivity. For me, when my acne exploded, I didn't tell anyone. So when something so detrimental comes up like this, and you find yourself in your own corner by yourself, not difficult to reach out and ask for that help. So if you find yourself in need of company or answers, I'm always here, and I have no problem being that person. So there's more videos to come. I have a lot of things planned. I'm sorry if the light faded in and out today. I'm dealing with natural light. If you have any questions or need anything, just let me know. And we'll see you soon. Right, Clarky? You look like Two-Face right now. Harvey Dent, everyone. Bye, guys.